My name is Kieran Finnerty. I'm a second year apprentice with the Office of Public Works in Athenry. Today we're in Athenry and I'm going to take you through our stone cutting shed here and what we do on different phases of our apprenticeship. First of all, I'll show you the tools. So here on the right hand side now you have your pneumatic chisels and your pneumatic hammer. They're all ran by an air compressor and they're all air. The next stage then is your chiseling, your hand tools, your hammer, your hand chisels. They're for taking the twist out of a stone and for leveling it off to get a flat, even surface. You can use both hammers for these chisels. You can use both steel and nylon mallet. The nylon mallet, the only difference is that it gives a smoother blow and gives a nicer cut to the stone. Therefore, makes a nicer finish on it. On the left then, we have our small little lettering chisels. We have a 4mm, a 6mm, 8 and 12mm. These are for carving out text, for interpreting lettering into stone. They're all done with this little 800 gram lettering hammer. Then you have your whetstone there, that's for sharpening all your chisels. You have your sliding bevel for measuring angles, and you have your square for measuring squares. So with that then, we'll go over to these three projects here are my three projects from the phase 2. This firstly here is a Celtic Cross, and on it there's both relief, knotwork, Celtic knotwork, showing the different designs you can do to incorporate it into it. Here then we have a decorative motif of a flower. This was all chiseled back 5mm and left relief in a way that it more so jumps out at you. Back here then we have lettering. This is the most detailed part of the course. These letters will be all hand drawn on. They're 25mm letters which are capitals approximately 40 to 45. They'll be all hand drawn on, and they're all Roman capital, both higher and lower case. This is the main font of lettering in Ireland and it dates back to the 1800s. Another project then I've completed for the OPW is this 2-light window. Jambs of the window here, and on our lintel we have 3 different types of mouldings. We have our seam erector first, running into our volo and onto our convetto. This then is transferred the whole way up the jamb, across the lintel and down the other jamb. For our mullion in the middle to separate the 2-light window, we've used 2 of those. We have used the seam erecta on both sides and gone into a volo then on the front, just how it'll be stepped back and it gives a nicer finish to the window. As part of this apprenticeship, I work 3 days a week here in the shed, stone carving, and 2 days a week in Dunmore Abbey, repointing stonework. Let's go there now and we'll have a look at that. My name is Kieran Finnerty. I'm a second year apprentice serving my time with the OPW in Athenry. Today we're in Dunmore, we're on one of our sites down here, and we're repointing and flaunching the top of this wall here to repair and restore it and to protect it for the future. The first part of the job, we come down here first, is that we have to rake out all the old mortar that's in these joints to clean them all out, and every joint should be back the thickness of the joint, it should be multiplied by 2.5 in millimeters, and that's the depth you should go back to have sufficient amount of NHL in the wall when you're repointing it again. When we first take out the mortar, we bring samples back to the depot in Athenry, and Rob back there then analyses what's in the mortar, and we source the material then locally, like sand and NaHL, to use to mix it back and to repoint it out again, how we can have it as close as possibly we can as to what was in it before. We use lime mortar then to repoint it all, to have it look aesthetically the same way as it was when we first started, or when it was first done years and years ago, when the first was built. This is stuff we mixed this morning. This was all weighed out using and measured in volume in buckets, and it's mixed typically 3 or 2.5 to 1 to get a nice fat up on it and make it easier to work with for pointing. So take it up then anyway. We're all on the back of our trowel, using our specially designed, I suppose, little pointed trowels then. When you have it fully cleared out, you start pushing the mortar back into the joint, ensuring that the joint is fully filled and is bonded well to both stones. We build it all out flush, if not a bit proud, in a way that will be raked and brushed back again the next day, using churn brushes and pointing trowels just to rake it back again to get the correct finish on it, to make it the same as it was previously before. That then will have to be covered for 3 to 4 days, depending on the weather, using hessian and polythene, and dampened down each day to ensure that it doesn't dry out too quickly and is cured correctly. After 2 or 3 days then, we come back, we scratch back the mortar and brush it back and tamp it back to give it the right colour, to have it looking well after that. Now, this is what we have done here since last Monday. As you can see, it's dried out sufficiently enough and the joints are all well packed. So now today that we have to keep scratching it back to get it back, to get that out and to get it flush with both stones, to stop the ingress of water into the point and into the wall. This protects the wall then for a lot more years to come. So yeah, we get this turn brush then, and you tap it back to get the grit out on it and to seal it yet again, to stop the ingress of water and to prevent the freeze thaw action happening. When we have that done then, we get our budget, and depending on what type of a day it is, we just lightly sprinkle it with water to prevent it from drying out yet again too quick. Then we use the hessian then again, and that will be either double, single, or be put up singly, or maybe sometimes even doubled. You hang that up there for a few days, typically 3 to 4 days again, to keep it dry and keep the moisture in against the mortar in a way that will cure for a sufficient amount of time. And sometimes you could even dampen that down again in a way that there's enough of moisture held in it. And then we've that all dampened down, then we get our polythene, and this prevents the sun getting at the hessian and drying the hessian too quickly, and it just kind of locks in the moisture into the hessian a bit better, so the lime can cure for that bit longer and be that bit better. We secure that down then using stones and pieces of timber. Just place the rocks along there, which just helps any wind or rain blowing the polythene off. We can strut it then from both sides using the thing in a way that it'll keep the hessian in against the wall, keep the lime moist. After 3 to 4 days then, when the lime is fully cured, we remove both hessian and polythene, and you'll be left with your pointing, repointed.